the effects of summer school on literacy skills of children from low-income families.
All right, so let me introduce to you our participant that we chose for this project. The participant chosen for this project is a preschool-aged African-American male. He is 4 years old and he comes from a low-income family. This student struggles with early language and literacy skills, specifically phonological awareness, oral language skills, print awareness, and alphabet knowledge. He was referred by his preschool teacher for the intensive summer school program that has a strong focus on improving early literacy skills.
The participants in the intensive summer literacy program included 26 preschool-aged children from low-income families. 96%, or 25 children that were involved in the study, were African American. 10 of the children were males and 16 were females. The ages of these participants ranged from 44 to 68 months of age, with 81% of the children being at or above 48 months old. All the children were recommended by their preschool teacher to attend the summer program. Students were recommended based on their performance on 2 assessments. First, the Phonological Awareness Literacy Screening Pre-Kindergarten, or the PALS Pre-K, is a criterion-based screening tool measuring children's emergent literacy skills with the goals of the screening for preschoolers at risk for later reading problems and helping preschool teachers plan effective early literacy instruction. The PALS Pre-K is composed of 6 separate subtests that are individually administered to children in approximately 20 to 25 minutes. These subtests, included in the PALS Pre-K, assess emergent phonological awareness, alphabet knowledge, and print skills in familiar contexts. Second is the Peabody Picture Vocabulary Test. The Peabody Picture Vocabulary Test scale is a norm-referenced wide-range instrument for measuring the receptive vocabulary of children and adults. To be recommended for the intensive summer literacy program, students had to score below the developmental range in at least 2 out of the 6 areas on the Phonological Awareness Literacy Skills Screening and receive a standard score of less than an 85 on the Peabody Picture Vocabulary Test.
And here we have our PICO question. The question is, do preschool-aged children from low socioeconomic status backgrounds who are at risk for literacy deficits benefit from an intensive summer program as compared to preschool-aged children from middle to upper socioeconomic status backgrounds that do not receive a summer program? And here's a breakdown of our PICO question. The population that we're focused on is preschool-age children from low socioeconomic status backgrounds. The intervention used is an intensive summer program with a strong focus on improving early literacy and language skills. What we're comparing are the populations of preschool-aged children from low socioeconomic status backgrounds compared to preschool-aged children from middle to upper socioeconomic status backgrounds. And our outcome of interest is, does this summer program positively impact and improve the literacy deficits of children from low socioeconomic status backgrounds?
The intervention consisted of a 6-week summer transition program with 4 full school days a week. This summer transition program used the Houghton Mifflin pre-K curriculum, where Bright Futures begin, which is based on a scientifically based reading research that focuses on the key areas of early language and literacy, including oral language skills, phonological awareness, print awareness, and alphabet knowledge. A team of preschool and kindergarten teachers utilize hands-on and sensory-rich curriculum materials and learning activities in order to promote developing skills and extended storybook readings. The summer program utilized a daily predictable schedule consisting of regular routines of meeting time, which is 15 to 20 minutes, story time, that's 15 to 20 minutes, and circle time. Additionally, children were provided daily opportunities for child-initiated literacy enriching learning in play centers promoting independent exploration and practice during center time, which was 45 to 60 minutes. Children were also provided with multiple opportunities for rich conversation each day, utilizing the high scopes plan, do, review approach. Children were provided with lessons that were teacher directed, modeled, and opportunities for independent practice.
Quality of evidence. The results of this study indicated that intensive summer programs focusing on key areas of oral language skills, phonological awareness, print awareness, and alphabet knowledge improve early literacy and language skills in children from low socioeconomic status. The children from low socioeconomic status in this study who received the intensive summer program focused on early literacy skills showed significant growth. This growth is indicated by the comparison of their results of their pre- and post-assessment measures, as well as their performance on assessment measures when compared to their peers at the beginning of the fall semester. Students who receive the intensive summer program outperform their peers in these areas of literacy. Among the 4 subtests of the phonological awareness literacy screening for pre-K, name writing, uppercase recognition, and print and word awareness showed significant growth between the beginning and end of the summer program. Uppercase recognition showed the biggest growth, while rhyme awareness stayed at the same level between pre- and post-tests. There were a few limitations to this study. One limitation included the small amount of participants that were used. There were only a small amount of students that were recommended by their teachers. There was also a limit of assessment measures that were used in this study. The only assessment measure was the phonological awareness literacy screening for pre-K. This study could have included more meaningful measurements, which in turn would have strengthened the study itself. Finally, the limit of how much time there was to conduct the study. The summer months are short, and we needed to take in account for families having summer obligations and work. There also was not enough time to get the parents' thoughts and perception of the summer program once it had ended. With the information in this study, we rated the quality of evidence as moderate, and we feel as though further research is likely to have an important impact on this study.
Treatment decision. Although the study contains several limitations, it still carries a strong clinical and practical significance and is recommended to utilize this intensive summer literacy program. This study has enough information to be repeated with more participants for a longer period of time to give a better basis for the importance of summer learning programs. Within the limited amount of time, this intensive summer intervention program showed a significant positive impact on the participants involved in areas of name writing, uppercase recognition, print and word awareness, and rhyming awareness. If this study had longer time frame, the impact of the program would provide more possible positive improvements for these children. The significant impact is beneficial to the participants' growing literacy skills, which will impact later language and literacy development, closing achievement gaps from children of low socioeconomic status compared to their peers of a higher socioeconomic status. Not only does the research provide a solid basis for this improvement and the transition from preschool to kindergarten, but is beneficial to children who experience academic loss over the summer. Any intervention is better than no intervention.
Lesson Plan 1. The focus for Lesson Plan 1 is phonological awareness. The long-term goal for this lesson is the student will increase phonological awareness skills through identifying and segmenting syllables. Our lesson objectives include the student will identify syllables in spoken words by clapping to count the number of syllables in each word, and the student will identify syllables in written words. All right, so for each lesson, we decided to have 3 parts: an opening, an activity, work period, and then a ticket out the door. And also, we provided students with homework because it is an intensive summer program. So, with that being said, during the openings, we're just going to explain, model, provide a refresher. Students may have already learned this stuff before, but we're going to go over it again. And then from what we have learned in the opening, we're going to use in the activity work period time. So we're applying the information that we just learned at the beginning of the lesson, and we're using it for our activities and work period time. And then after our activity work period time, we have a ticket out the door, and the ticket out the door is to check the understanding of each child regarding the lesson plan. So for lesson 1, let's just talk about it a little bit. The beginning of lesson 1, we're going to start with reminding students that words are essentially like puzzles. We are able to take them apart and put them back together. We're going to explain and model how to segment spoken words into syllables. So for an example, I'm going to say the word monkey. I'm going to tell the students to listen to the word and how it's broken down into 2 parts. Then I'll say it again by breaking it down like this: monkey. And I'm going to tell students to listen as I say the word again, but this time I'm going to clap each part. So I'll say the word again while clapping. So monkey. And we're going to model this several times, and we're going to do it together as a group. You can do it with several words that have 2 syllables, and once you see students are having a better understanding of segmenting syllables, then give them some 3-syllable words. So for the activity work period time, the materials that are needed are going to be picture cards with syllable blocks at the bottom. There's an example of this you can see right here. You don't have to use these exact cards, just something similar. If you want to, you can even put to increase the activity, the intensity of it a little bit, you can even put the word where the picture is instead of the actual picture. And then you're going to need some manipulatives. For this lesson, we decided to use Skittles, just something fun, a little treat for the kids. You can use M&Ms, bingo chips, whatever you would like. And then so for this little activity, each child is going to be given a small deck of cards that have pictures on them. Now the pictures are going to have to be identifiable to preschool or pre-K and kindergarten age students. Now underneath the pictures are 4 boxes. Students are to identify the picture and count the syllables in each word. For each syllable, the child will place a Skittle in a box. For example, the card has a picture of a tractor on it. You will need 2 Skittles and place each Skittle in the box. So you have 2 boxes and 2 Skittles. So a Skittle is in each box, which that tells me that there are 2 syllables in the word tractor. Once the child has completed the syllables for the picture, they are asked to raise their hand and the teacher can come by and check it. So during this check, the teacher can discuss the kit with the child, how many syllables are in it. You can ask them to clap it out, and then they are to move on to the next one. After the teacher has checked the student's work, they're allowed to eat the Skittles. And now, before giving them this activity, make sure you model and provide an example in order for the students to have a better understanding of what they're being asked. So for the ticket out the door, this is just to check the students' understanding. We're going to have, while the students are lining up, I'm going to present each student. So the line leader is going to be presented with a individual word, and they are going to be asked to clap out the number of syllables and state the number of syllables in each word. So once that child has said that, given me the number of correct syllables, they are allowed to go. So the next student in line will get the same thing, and then they'll be able to go. So while the other students are waiting in line, they are asked to listen to each student's answers in order to make sure they are correct. Now, students are allowed to help each other at this point. So if someone said there was 3 syllables in the word tractor, a student may raise his hand and say, no, there's 2, and then we'll discuss it as a whole group. So cues are provided if necessary. And homework for this lesson, students are asked to come up with 5 words. They're asked to write them down along with a number of syllables. They're going to be asked to bring these words to the next session with them, and then we're going to discuss as a whole group the words and the syllables that each of them have. So that is lesson 1.
Lesson number 2 focuses on rhyming awareness. The long-term goal for the student is to increase rhyming skills through identifying and putting together word chunks or word families. Our lesson objectives are that the student will identify rhyming words in spoken language by verbally repeating the word family, and that the student will identify rhyming words in written words. For lesson 2, we want to remind the students what word families are. They have the same ending letters like EN or IG, but different beginning letters. We'll model this in the classroom by using a large whiteboard or paper easel or even a chalkboard. We want to use blue for the ending EN letters and a red marker for the beginning letters. We want to write B-EN or H-EN on the easel to visually show the students how these words are in the same family because they share the same ending letters. We want to say each word out loud to the students to verbally hear how they go together. Ben and hen. Have the students repeat the words back to you. We can model this with different ending word chunks with IG, IN, AT, or other ending words. An activity that can be used are Legos that are found at Five Below, Michael's, or the dollar store. Make sure they're large enough to write the family words on there. Start off by placing buckets of Lego pieces on each of the students' tables. Each table is going to have a different word family for the day. And then you can switch word families each day and mix them with each table. For example, one table will have AT words, another will have IN words, etc. Model how the word families go together. For example, the teacher will stack an OG family Legos together to show the class how they connect. The children can build word families with the same ending to create rhyming words. Since this is done at their tables, this also integrates peer groups to help each other with rhyming words. They will work together to build their word families. Once all the blocks are placed together, go around the room and read off the rhyming words to the class. You should also use the Lego blocks to hold up the class for visual learning. To make things trickier throughout the process, you can use word families with multiple rhyming words or using blends. We want to take away for the class before leaving school. You can call the tables by word families. For example, the OG family can line up. Then have each of the students say a word that goes within that family. Continue this for each table. Cues will be provided if necessary. For homework, the students can take home worksheets given out by the teacher, and the teacher will hand out a sheet that has columns with ending words such as IN, AT, and the students are to write at least 4 words that go within that family.
All right, these are our resources. We have listed the article, so if you want to go ahead and read that, it's pretty interesting. And then we have the resources for lesson 1 and 2 listed. So if you were interested in those lessons and you think they may benefit your therapy in the future, there they are. And that is our project.